Hello, and this is Low Budget Philosophy. And today I'm going to try to answer a question that I'm being asked a lot. Why do I argue a lot about some of the non-harmful, unreasonable beliefs that people have? Or to put it in other words, why argue about non-harmful beliefs that have little to no reason? Before we get to answer this question, let's talk about how beliefs are formed. First, the statement comes in. Then the person decides if it's reasonable or not. If it's reasonable, then the statement becomes the belief. And while this is in no way an accurate diagram of what is actually happening in my head, and anyone's head, I'm going to use this to demonstrate a point. In particular, I'm very interested in this middle step, in which the person decides if the statement is reasonable or not. Some of the questions the person might ask would be, where does the statement come from? How many similar things do I already know? And lastly, how would this statement affect some of the beliefs that I already have? Answering these questions would help generate three numbers x, y, and z. And so when we add x, y, and z, we're going to get something that I will decode as RP, which would stand for reasoning power. And so if reasoning power is greater or equal than reasoning minima, then the statement becomes a belief. Now let's talk about the reasoning minima. If the reasoning power is very strong, then it's going to be greater or equal than the reasoning minima. And therefore those statements are going to become your beliefs. If it's smaller than the reasoning minima, then those statements are not going to become your beliefs. Let's look at this process one more time. There are short statements and there are tall statements. The taller you are, the stronger you are, right? If your statement is really short, and if your reasoning wall is really high, then the short statements are not going to climb over your reasoning wall, and therefore they're going to stay outside. The tall statements, or the strong statements, that have a lot of reasoning power, are going to be able to climb over your reasoning wall, and they're going to come to the world of your beliefs. And so if your reasoning minima is very low, then you'll believe all kind of junk. And if your reasoning minima is too high, then you cannot move forward because you believe almost nothing. And so when people ask me why do I argue about non-harmful beliefs that have little to no reason, I actually don't necessarily disagree with the belief that they have. Maybe it is non-harmful, but what I am concerned is the reasoning minima. If there is a belief that the person have that could come in with little or no reason at all, it means that there are other statements that can come in with little or no reason, and then they will become beliefs. And those beliefs might be harmful. I'm taking a consequentialist approach. If I see a person with an unreasonable belief, I don't necessarily worry about the belief itself. I worry about the low reasoning minima. I want to make sure that people make the best decisions possible. I'm worried about what might come in the future.